So we want to design a honeypot, and we will start by creating a working space, a new working space. Then we go to the part design. We create the body. Then we create a sketch, and I'll be working along the base plane of the XZ plane. So we start by inserting our dimensions. Definitely our base will be curvy. It will be more of a curvy design, so you may need to follow with me. So we start with that. Maybe we may say 15 millimeters. Then we do this section. Which could be, let's say 5 millimeters. Then from there we can introduce another curve. Let's say the curve can be given a radius of 25 millimeters. Can proceed by introducing the section, let's say 5. That should be 5 millimeters. Then you can do another curve. This one can be denoted by 7 millimeters. You can see we're heading somewhere. You can do another sketch. Then from here, we can proceed. So this one I'll give, I'll say 0.5. 0.5. This one should be equal to this one. This one should be equal and parallel. Then I can introduce a curve here. I can make it 8 millimeters in radius. Do another straight line here. Which should be parallel to this one. It should be parallel. Do another curve here. This one can be given a radius of maybe 26. I just want to make them uniform. So this should be 26. We need to align them. I don't want to constrict them because it's more of a guideline on how to work with the speed. introduce another line here. This one, we can say 5. We see. Five. Then we introduce this one. So this one, we can make it to be 14 radius, 14 millimeters. Then we have to enclose this section. Maybe we need to align it along this plane. It is already constrained. If not, we also need to make it there. So we can say this and this should be, I don't know whether it will be, should be parallel, not working. They can also not be equal. Yeah, so from here, we update, then we close, then we do the revolution. So here is our port, and we may need to proceed and make it more fancy by introducing some other part designs. So to proceed, I'll just go to another sketch. Then I choose the plane I want to work on. I press OK. Then I will go to wireframe. Then from there, I can introduce a section here. And I may need to constrain it. So let's say this one, this one. Let me start by this dimension. This dimension and before. And they should be equal. Actually, they're already equal. Then I'll do this one to be maybe 0.2. 0.2. Then I will align it. Just want to ensure, because I am not using proper dimensions, so I may need to just do it randomly. So let me say 30, 9.3. Then I close. When I'm done, close. Then I do the revolution after closing. And now we can go to that, and you can see there's a layer introduced. So we can go to the next, maybe introducing another layer in this section. So we still do the same process where we create another sketch, and we go to wireframe. Then we follow the same process. So I can still do, sorry. Just repeated something. Yeah, so I'm starting afresh. This is still there. So I'll go back to the new sketch, working on the XZ plane still. Then I go to wireframe. Then from there, I do another layer of a sketch on top of the ones we've done. So I'll still give this a dimension of 0.2 millimeters. That's 0.2. I may need to work with a height of still 4.5 millimeters. Then I want to align it to the main object, which is 15. Then I can introduce these heights. Let me say 0.15. That's okay. Then I update close. After closing, I revolutionize. Then I go back to wireframe. Not wireframe, really. I go back to as is that command, and you can see the outcome. So we are still making it a little fancy, and now we want to design the supporting base so that it can be a port which can stand on a base. So we still go to the sketch, still along the same plane. Then we go to wireframe, and now we can start sketching. So I'll use these commands this time. Just to do a rough sketch before I insert some dimensions. Good. So I'll give this one to be, I'll put this one at 10 millimeters. This one will be 25. Then this one and this one should be orthogonal to each other. And the height should be, I'll give it 2. Then this one will be 4. 4, yes. So from here, I will introduce other sections. So there's another base I'll have to create here. And I'll give it 1 millimeter. Then I do, sorry. Then I do an arc here. Which I'll give a dimension of 15 millimeters. Then I will have to constrain to this point. I also constrain these points, joining them. Then from here, I can do another arc here. And another cojoining arc. So, and another co-joining arc here. So I will give this one a dimension of, let me say, 16 millimeters. Then I will introduce an angle of 55. Yeah. Then I can now close and see what happens if it will revolutionize. Do that. And as you can see, there is a new introduction to the base. Then now I can go to these commands. And here is our honeypot. So what we may need to do is to file it. So I will go to parts. Then I want to start by filing this section. Go to parts. Choose the section I want to file. I press OK. That's good. Also this section. Then I do the file. Then I press OK. So from here, we will just try and make it more appealing and give it a better outlook. So if I click on the body, then I go to appearance. I can go to Chrome. I can now click on any section I want to transform. You can see you can give it different colors. We can go with that. You can go with that. And maybe if you want to just the transparency, you can see the effects. So we assume that this lower section will be a glass, and we want to try and make it appear so. So the support base is more of a glass. Good. So here is our honeypot, and we've tried making it fancy and shiny. And from here, you are good to go. You can now submit your product to the market.